And if you fenestrate, frame and sash must relate, or it would be a lie. The architectural things apply as time goes by. Mullions and muttons we recommend, parapets and pilasters we will defend. Terra needs cotta and new ought to blend with the old you can't deny. It's still the same old story, a fight for historical glory, a case of landmark it or die. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
The 1950s, beatniks, bongos, poetry. Ed hung out with Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac at the Chelsea Hotel. If you Google lesser-known Chelsea poets of the 50s, you will find some of Ed's poetry, such as Ode to the Chelsea Market.
I think I shall never see a factory building as fine as the birthplace of the Oreo, home of the Triscuit, emporium of the Ritz, and other fine biscuit. Your pedestrian bridge may be Art Deco, but I landmark thee, Art Nabisco.
Stopping by the float bridge on a winter evening. Whose float bridge this served, I think I know. It served the railroad called the B&O, whose warehouse on 25th is near a reinforced concrete entrepot. The terminal stores are close by here. To preservationists, it is quite dear. With its long tunnel and arches sublime, Mallory was the architect, Walter Catt the engineer. The buildings are lovely, worthy and fine, but I have work to do before I opine, and letters to write before deadline.
Let them not to the Ladies' Mile remove cupolas. Let them not to the preservation of the Ladies' Mile remove cupolas. Preservation is not historical, which alters when its alteration allows, or agrees with the developer something to remove. Oh no, is an ever-fixed mark. That look upon the LPC it is never shaken. It is the star to every townhouse restoration, whose worth is unknown although millions were paid. Preservation is not time's fool, though frivolous fads come and go, and lest we forget what is right and true. Preservation alters not his brief hours and weeks, but keeps it true, even to the edge of doom or City Hall. If this be error and upon me moved, a friendly amendment can be moved.
To a skylight. Hail to thee, blithe skylight, roof thou never wert, that from heaven up above poured the day's light to make my bathroom a delight.
We look before and after, and mourn for what is gone. Our best architecture we must fight to hold on, and preserve even a skylight shaped like an octagon.
Yes, if we could keep those little rooftop eyes that see the nighttime deep and watch the passing skies, I, for one, would not be.
Better than all measures of delightful sound, better than all treasures that in books are found, a little skylight square around.
For Bob Tierney, who was trying to be here, to landmark it or not to landmark it, that is the question.
In the 1960s, Ed tuned in and dropped out. But his reputation had got around. He was becoming a legend in the coffee houses of Chelsea and in the hippie communes of Hell's Kitchen. Hey, Mr. Reservation Man, landmark a house for me. It's historical and hackneyed really. Hey, Mr. Preservation Man, save the district for me. In this jingle jangle city, you preserve its history. Though I want to turn buildings into sand, erase them from the land, build Disneyland and leave us all weeping. So hey, we're Kirkland, save the district for me. In this jingle jangle city, you preserve history. Over the years, Ed would preserve many worthy buildings and sites. So many, in fact, that rounding up all the slides to show you tonight took a little time. But when we finally did it,
the Chelsea Historic District Extension, the McGraw-Hill Building, Ladies Mile, West Chelsea, 8th Avenue Federal Houses, Lambertine Place, the Empire State Building, the Louvre, and the Taj Mahal!
in the 1970s, Ed moved to the McBurney Y on 23rd Street and spent many evenings cruising the waterfront, looking for a good bar to have a cocktail. One evening, he met a tall man and a couple of short women. They were also looking for a place to have a drink. The men tried to have a conversation, but the roar of the Hudson River made hearing difficult.
What we need here is a good waterfront bar.
No, I believe what we need here is a good waterfront bar.
Bar? What are you smoking?
Joking. I quit joking years ago. Would you like to get a drink?
What do I think?
What do you drink? What do I drink? Maybe a Manhattan or a sidecar. And out of the New York Central, which brought goods down the terminal stores. No, that was before my time, of course, but mostly an old-fashioned. That's the drink for me, an old-fashioned. What do you drink?
I already told you what I think. Well, why don't we have a drink? We'll talk better.
Write a letter?
Yes, I'm a newspaper man. I'm a publisher of a newspaper. Let's find a watering hole, a public house, a bar.
A public park here?
That's it. A waterside park.
What?
A park along the waterside. What would we call it?
That called for 42 more meetings. Then one day, Pam had an idea.
Well, not exactly. Well, we'll call it the Chelsea Waterside Park.
It was Doris Corrigan and Pam who saved the day. In the 80s, moving up to the 80s, community boards took on new power.
We dealt with Times Square, Worldwide Plaza, Columbus Circle, Clinton Urban Renewal, 8th Avenue rezoning, Hudson Yards, and West Chelsea. And Ed was there for each and every one.
In the second decade of the new millennium, Ed decided to leave Community Board 4 and move back to Kansas.
That's my wife, where my wife came from.
Where he knew happy days with his lovely wife, June. In his retirement, Ed started Lobsters Without Borders, an advocacy group for crustaceans which had escaped from holding tanks in seafood restaurants. Ed found the work rewarding, but he was getting restless. One day, he put in a call to the CB4 office. hoping to talk to his old friend Jenna, with whom, to remind him of his old days in Paris, he used to speak German.
You have reached Manhattan Community Board 4. If you wish to leave a message this summer, please recite the first 6 digits of your Community District 4 identification number. Leave a brief message of 6 words. No more, no less. Tell us why you are calling. Then press the pound key at least 14 times. If this is an emergency, well, hang up and dial 911. If this is not an emergency, I would suggest you might want to hang up and start again. If you have a complaint, call 311. You'll have to hold for a very long time. If none of the above, press 1, and you'll get the District 4 boundaries. This message will now be repeated in German. If you wish to hear it in French, well, please call Christine Bertin.
Hello? Jenna?
Schatzi, guten Tag, wie geht es dir?
Es geht weit, guten dir.
Es geht mir gut. It's so good to hear from you.
What's going on in the district?
It's a disaster, Ed. Invaders from Hell's Kitchen have breached the 34th Street Cordon Sanitaire.
Heaven, I remember when that happened in 1938. We had to disinfect almost all of Chelsea.
But it's even worse. The Shetri Empire has sent Darth Kaufman to turn the Chelsea Hotel into a vertical disco mall.
Darth Kaufman. Something must be done to stop him.
Ed, we kept your old manual typewriter. The one that you used to write all those wonderful letters.
Ed, a typewriter? You think you can defeat me with a type? Where are you? Where the hell are you? Oh, it's supposed to be over there in rehearsal.
The typewriter is over
there. Ed, but do you think you can defeat me with a typewriter?
It's all I have.
A typewriter? What could you do with me with a mere typewriter?
I can write letters.
Words! Words! Only words on a paper! I make buildings! I make new buildings! Ugly buildings! Red buildings! Yellow, blue, green buildings! Buildings with stripes! Cartoon-like buildings! Big budget hotels all over the city! Flying the flags of many chains in places that only desperate tourists would ever stay. And each and every one of them without a street wall. Take that, Amanda Burden! I will destroy your old buildings and you cannot stop me with mere words!
Maybe you're right. Maybe there's nothing more I can do anymore.
Wait, Ed, remember West Chelsea? Remember the letter you wrote?
Oh, I'm supposed to be sitting down now. Dear Commissioner Tierney.
What, Tierney? You think he can't help you? I don't think he can. No!
Maybe he can! Tierney, landmarks commissioner!
Damn you to hell!
Manhattan Community Board 4 wishes to affirm its strong support for the designation of the proposed West Chelsea Historic District. The board was the original creator of the concept of a historic district in Western Chelsea and believes that preservation of one of the most significant buildings remaining from the industrial past of this part of Manhattan will make an important contribution to the future of the area.
The first and most obvious reason
2011 to the present.
The first and most obvious reason for designation is the quality of buildings in the proposed historic district. Although this area has until recently been unfamiliar to most New Yorkers, and even to the residential community just to the east, persons who have come to know it are surprised by the quality of the structures there.
What?
Okay, back to writing.